Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett. Let's get started. A lot of what to go over. So first, let's go over my NFL picks for this week. We get the Thursday night football game tonight, and the LA Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to take the Raiders in this one for a couple of reasons. Why? It's in Las Vegas, even though there's no fans, you get the home field element there. Two, they have to win. They have to win out in order to make the playoffs. So it's a do or die for them versus the Chargers, where they're just playing with house money. Now it's a divisional game, so I'm going to expect it to be close. But I'm going to have the Raiders here to survive and keep their playoff hopes alive. Bills versus Broncos. I know it's at Denver, but Bills automatically. Panthers versus Packers. Packers automatically. Bucks versus Falcons. Now, this one could be interesting, but because the Falcons have the capability of scoring points. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be interesting to where I think the Falcons are going to upset the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to win. But yeah, I just feel like maybe the Falcons can somehow keep it close. All depends on if the offensive line can hold the pass rush from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see. But I get the Bucks winning. Yeah, Jaguars, Ravens automatically. 49ers, Cowboys. And this one's interesting. Because the 49ers have been a letdown the past couple weeks. But actually, it's smart that, even it's in Dallas, it's smart to take the 49ers here, and here's why. The 49ers, what they're known for is running the football. Cowboys are one of the worst run defenses in the league. So therefore, they're not going to have to rely on Nick Mullins or CJ Beathard, whoever they decided to put out there after last week's performance was horrible. But they don't have to rely on the quarterback in this game. They can just run the ball and still win. Texans versus Colts. With the Texans now out of postseason contention, I'm going to have the Colts winning this one, since obviously they have more to play for, and Texans are, with Deshaun Watson injured and other players starting to sit out. Should be an easy win at home for the Colts. Patriots versus Dolphins. So this one's a very interesting one. I don't think the Patriots are going to win this one. I think the Dolphins will win this one. I know you're going to say week one, Patriots won. But in week one, Ryan Fitzpatrick was starting. No offense to him, but he was starting. And it was a new team. You're still trying to figure yourself out after the first couple weeks of the season. It's like a preseason game, basically. But now the Dolphins are on a roll. And yes, I know Bill Belichick has success against rookie quarterbacks like Tua. That is a concern that I am aware of. But nevertheless, I feel like with Brian Flores as the coach this time, going up against Belichick, I feel like he'll know what Belichick's going to throw at him, so therefore he can help prepare Tua a little bit better. So Dolphins will survive here. Bears versus Vikings. This is interesting because the loser this one's out playoffs automatically, and the winner can keep their playoff hopes alive. Although again, I think Arizona's getting that last spot. But Vikings barely won at Chicago last time. But last time they were playing Nick Foles, this time playing Trubisky, so we'll see if that kind of makes a difference or not. I don't think Vikings are still going to win it though, but a close game. Lions versus Titans win automatically. Seahawks versus Washington. This is an interesting one. You may think, Seahawks going to win, but no, this is an interesting game. Whether Alex Smith plays or Dwayne Haskins plays, it's a game where it's going to be close, and here's why. Seahawks have to go all the way to the East Coast. I think it's a 1:00 game, so that's very rough for West Coast teams. Washington has a really good defense, especially defensive line, and we know Seahawks' offensive line is super horrible. So Russell Wilson's going to get pressured all day and stuff like that. So I feel like you're going to have like the Giants situation, where surprised even a couple of the Giants made it close because of their defense attacking the Seahawks offensive line and stuff like that. So that's why things will be close, but Seahawks will prevail. Eagles versus Cardinals. I feel like Jalen Hurts will still kind of have success here because even though the Cardinals played well against the Giants last week, the Cardinals defense is usually not that great. So I have the Eagles still performing well, but the Cardinals offense firepower would just be too much for the depleted Eagles defense. Cardinals will win. Jets versus Rams. Rams automatically. Chiefs versus Saints. So this is a very interesting one. A lot of people are thinking, hoping that Drew Brees comes back. In my opinion, I think he's not going to be able to come back this game. Might be next game. And that's the case, Taysom Hill starting. But I think the only way the Saints have a shot in this game is the defense has to contain the Chiefs offense enough, but then not only that, on the offensive side of the ball, Sean Payton has to just say, okay, Taysom, just run the ball, let it rip, run the ball, run it for 18 times for 100 yards. That's what's going to happen, and not him fumbling in order to win this game. So that's why I feel like if the Saints can do that, then keep the time possession, keep the high-powered offense onto the sideline stuff, and the Chiefs' run defense not the best either. So I feel like it'll be a closer game. Like if Taysom Hill starting, I feel like it'll be a closer game than what most people would predict, but I'm still going to Chiefs win it. Browns versus Giants. Daniel Jones is questionable once again with another injury. Also, Browns defense is. The Giants aren't good, that great stuff in the run. And Browns are really good running the ball, so I'm going to take the Browns here. And this makes the Giants playoff subs unfortunately bleak at this point. Okay, and the Steelers-Bengals Monday Night Football. Finally, a break for the Steelers where they can get a W. So there you go. I have Raiders, Broncos, Packers. Not Broncos, Bills. Packers, Bucks, Ravens, 49ers, Colts, Dolphins, Vikings, Titans, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Browns, and Steelers. And then the Bills, Broncos, and Packers game will be on Saturday, which is kind of fun to have Saturday NFL football. Okay, so now to go on to my top college football games of the week. So this is championship weekend, so I'm going to go through all the conference championship games. Well, not all of them, because again, Conference USA championship game, night one Marshall versus 5-3 UAB. It's like, who cares about that? Marshall should win, but who cares about that? And then same with the MAC, undefeated Buffalo, 5-0 versus 5-1 Ball State. Again, I don't really care about that one. Now, Ball State upsets Buffalo. The way Buffalo's been looking, that would be impressive in itself, but Buffalo should win that one. So I don't really care about those conference championship matchups. But now let's start with the Mountain West Championship game. We got 5-1 Boise State versus 24 undefeated San Jose State. You may wonder why this game has significance. Well, one, San Jose State just got ranked, and they haven't been finished undefeated since 1939. That's a long time ago. Also, Boise State continued to show their dominance within the conference by winning their fourth title this decade, so it's a good matchup there. And the winner of this Mountain West game usually gets to a good bowl game or opponent destination. Now, it's not going to be as much the case, but I think the winner of this one's going to the Arizona Bowl, as has been reported. And the Arizona Bowl's not that impressive, but I think they might face either the winner or the runner-up of the MAC, which would be a good opponent there. So I feel like, in my opinion, this game comes down to the quarterbacks, and I feel like Hank Bachmeier for Boise State is just such a difference-making quarterback that he'll guide them to win here in a close game. I have this like a 31-20 type of game. American Conference Championship, you got the 9th Cincinnati, undefeated Cincinnati versus 23 Tulsa 6-1. It's the primetime 8 p.m. ABC game. No, it'll compete with the SEC Championship game. I want to see if it's better than that. It's like it's primetime here. This game hopefully is interesting. We'll see. I feel like what's interesting here is that it's like you can look at common opponents like Cincinnati beats SMU by like 3 possessions, and then Tulsa only beats SMU by just 3 points. So then you're like, okay, well, but then you're like, okay, well, against UCF, Cincinnati only won by 3, and this was in Florida, and then Tulsa went to Florida as well and played them, and they won by 8 actually, and they looked more dominant. So it'll be interesting here. The battle of a good, Cincinnati has a great defense, don't get me wrong, but it's a battle of the offense versus defense here, and because Cincinnati is better offensively than Tulsa is, and Tulsa just has to rely so heavily on their defense. That's why I think Cincinnati will ultimately prevail. But I have it being a close game, like 30-24 type of game. Next, you got the Sun Belt Championship game. How about, of all the group of 5 championship games, how about the Sun Belt Championship game being the most impressive one? That hasn't happened in a long time, so that's pretty cool. We got 19 Louisiana 9-2 versus 12 Coastal Carolina 11-0, noon ESPN. This will be a very interesting game. It came down to the wire when they faced in the regular season, with Coastal Carolina needing a winning field goal to win it. Hopefully, we get another good game once again, and I feel like Louisiana will be more prepared and really give Coastal Carolina a run for their money here. But I have Coastal Carolina making a winning field goal to keep their Year 6 hopes alive if Cincinnati were to stumble. And then 24-23 type of game, super good game, close game. Pac-12 championship game, Oregon 3-2 versus 13 USC 5-0. This is the Friday night one on ESPN. With the way the Pac-12 has worked this year, you can flip a coin on who's going to win this game, because both defenses suck, so it'll be an offensive shootout. But Expect to find a close game, but USC I feel like is going to complete the undefeated season. And they win by a touchdown, 34-27. Big Ten championship game for Ohio State versus 14 Northwestern, 6-1 at noon on Fox. You can look at this game two ways. You can say Northwestern lost to Michigan State, and then Ohio State demolished them with some players that did COVID. So you can say Ohio State shot back, or you can say Northwestern is competitive and close in every game that they're in, and they don't get up a lot of points. Like 24 points, I think is the most they give. 23 maybe. Like they're really solid defense. So maybe they can finally give Ohio State's offense a run for their money. So that's why I feel like this will be a very close game in the first half before maybe the fourth quarter Ohio State starts to finally show their dominance and gets the win like 34-17. Big 12 championship game, 10 Oklahoma versus 6 Iowa State on the ABC. If you were to ask me a month ago this game had significance, I would say not that much because neither team has a shot to the playoffs. Well, Iowa State at 6 actually has a shot, and Oklahoma, I don't think has much shot, but Oklahoma can get as high as a 6, in my opinion, in the rankings. Well, like they have a lot to play for, and obviously the loser of this game, I think, will not make the New Year's Six bowl game. So it's very high stakes here. I feel like this game's a good game. The regular season came down right to the wire. But in this one, there's no home field advantage for Iowa State. Iowa State actually had some fans, and it made a difference, but there's no home field advantage there. And Oklahoma is a completely different team from where they were in the third game of the season when they faced each other versus now. I mean, Iowa State's gotten better as well, don't get me wrong, but Oklahoma has made a big jump as well, especially defensively, which is actually a surprise. But I expect this to be a shootout because I feel like this is the two best teams in the Big 12. But I'm going to have Oklahoma getting revenge here in the 30-35 type of game to make the darlings of the committee drop. SEC championship game, 1 Alabama, 7 Florida, CBS. Again, two ways you can look at this. Florida lost to A&M, and then LSU, who got demolished by Bama. Or Florida's offense won the best offenses in the few offenses that can go toe-to-toe with Bama. I choose to look at the latter. I feel like Trask will perform well in this game. A bounce-back game. Kyle Pitts should be playing this time, which helps. I feel like Florida will score a lot of points here, but they're not going to stop Alabama. So I have Alabama winning by like 2 touchdowns, 45-31, in a fun game there. And last but not least, the ACC championship game. 2 Notre Dame, 3 Clemson, 4 p.m. ABC. For all the Clemson fans, you use the excuse no Trevor Lawrence. I had a couple defensive key players out. But now it's time to see, well, is Clemson still playoff material? Or is it kind of like that down year with Bama last year where they had 2 losses? I think with Lawrence playing, this means the Irish won't be able to stack the box very well and stop the run game, which means they can open things up for Travis Etienne in the run game. And the fact that you're giving defense coordinator Brett Venables a second chance to play you is going to be problematic for Notre Dame. I feel like this is going to be a much it's not going to be as high scoring as it was last time. Much better defensive game. I feel like it's going to be a very good and close game, but I feel like Clemson will get revenge putting Notre Dame at the mercy of the teams below them to lose, and I have Clemson winning by a touchdown, 34-28, in a fun game there. So there you go. I got Clemson by 6, Alabama by 14, Oklahoma by 3, Ohio State by 17, USC by a touchdown, Coast Carolina by 1, Cincinnati by 6, and Boise State by 11. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel to learn about me. Tomorrow or a special Saturday, I haven't decided which one I'll be giving my final bowl projections as we near bowl season. Announcements on Sunday. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast. Again, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and y'all have a wonderful day.